Hey guys, TrilogyVenus here, and today I'm going to be talking about Lilith conjunct Jupiter in Synastry. So, of course, Lilith is one of my favorite placements in astrology. It is a point in a chart that represents kind of like our rebellious side. It represents the side of us that we don't, actively show to the world. People kind of have to get a little bit close to us. It's not like in one of the hidden houses, like the fourth house, the eighth house, or the 12th house, but it is kind of a point in our chart that, people may not expect, whatever sign, like they don't expect us to act that certain way. But that is our rebellious side. So that is the side of us that comes out when we are feeling rebellious. So when Jupiter and Lilith meet in Synastry, it's kind of like they see a comrade within each other. They see someone that has, similar qualities. The Jupiter person would, of course, feel a lot of optimism about the Lilith person's rebellious side. Like I said, they do see someone that they can kind of explore, have adventure with. And then the Lilith person feels like the Jupiter person contains, a teacher like energy that allows them to fully express, their rebellious side. And when I say fully express, I mean like express and then some. Because, of course, like I always say, Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So it'll kind of like take the rebellion up a couple notches by being, in tune with each other. And so, one thing about this placement, especially on the part of the Jupiter, they can feel like they can kind of break each other out of any kind of habits or bad habits that they've been having. So a lot of times I see with this type of synastry, one or both people are kind of in situations that that they kind of need to get out of. Maybe they're stuck in a dead end situation or attached to something that's not good for them. And they meet each other, and especially the Jupiter person feels like this is the person that can kind of take them away from that. So a lot of times the Lilith becomes an escape for the Jupiter person to where like they can kind of like meet each other and then leave whatever kind of dead end situations that they're in. Of course, a lot of times in Lilith Street in general, there's always some type of kind of forbidden aspect to the relationship. So, like I said, maybe both people or one person is in a situation, committed or not. It doesn't have to be married, it doesn't have to be anything like that. But, just basically they're in some type of interaction that they could possibly have been, loyal to or in for a long time. And then they meet each other. And like I said, especially the Jupiter person, they meet the Lilith person and then they feel like this is someone that they can kind of like escape with. This is someone who they'd be willing to leave whatever situation that they're in an attempt to, explore and have, adventures. It's like they just feel like they can go out and have a lot of fun with this person, and this person can take them, on a journey or take them somewhere that they've never, been to. And they kind of feel like that about each other. So this is one of those placements where there's an endless amount of, it's like it feels like there's an endless amount of possibilities by being with each other. Now, this could kind of be, it could be a good thing and it can also be a bad thing because depending on, what sign that this is in or what degree that is in, it could represent like overindulgence, like you guys are doing too much of something. So, depending on the sign, you guys could be doing, over overly doing something to where it's like, okay, but it's like you guys are with each other, so it's kind of like it doesn't really matter. It's like other people around the situation could feel like you guys are in y'all's own little bubble. It's like they can see that you guys are, kind of like, especially if people have been knowing you guys for a long time or knowing each of you individually, they can feel like you guys are acting in a way that's different than what they're used to when y'all are together. So, people could kind of feel like oh, you weren't doing such and such before, but when you get with this person, you're doing something else. But that's just that Lilith side is being expanded. It's like, like I said, you meet somebody that makes you, want, like, feel comfortable with really being yourself, because Lilith is really kind of like who you are, but it's just kind of like a part of you that you feel like will not be accepted by others. But you feel like the Jupiter person openly accepts you for that. And so, you be willing to just always show that side of you. And the Jupiter person would always feel optimistic about that side of you. So it's kind of like you guys are in a never ending loop of just having fun and being yourself. And so, other people outside the situation could be jealous of that because they won't understand that side, because, maybe they don't accept, your Lilith side, or one of the person's Lilith side. They don't accept it. And so, they don't understand the connection. But I do feel like the connection is beneficial, because, like I said, this person could definitely take you out of anything that, you do not belong in, or you should not be in, or has been detrimental to you in some type of way. This is the person that could take you out of that situation. So I feel like overall, it is, a good placement for Lilith Synastry. Now, when it comes to a relationship, this is where it can kind of get complicated. So if these two people decide that they want to get serious, because remember what we said before, this was all about fun and adventure and, just, kind of exploring life together. It's like when you guys decide that you want to be serious, this is where it can kind of get complicated, especially for the Jupiter person, because they could feel like it's kind of hard to get the Lilith person to settle down. It's like I said, your rebellious side is not always needed. If you're in a relationship, why are you being rebellious, right? So there comes a time where, if the relationship gets serious, that, it'll be time to kind of put that rebellious side away and kind of be, just kind of normal and functioning like, a regular person in a relationship. But because, the energy that Jupiter possesses, it's like the Lilith person will kind of remain in that rebellious energy. And so, it becomes kind of a complication in a way, because the Jupiter person will feel like it's kind of hard to get the Lilith person to kind of simmer down. And that is where it can kind of, become complicated. But if the relationship, kind of remains, not a serious relationship, then it could work for the long haul. But, if you guys are trying to get serious, then that's where you may feel like the Lilith person is kind of too much, if you're the Jupiter person. But that's all I have for you guys. Talk to you on the next one.